Hello fellas, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm here to see Paul Linfoot of Paul Linfoot Racing. Paul is the man, if you haven't seen my videos before, Paul is the man for anything Rs500, whether it's road cars, race cars, restorations, parts. And you're just getting this, well, you've had this in a little bit now, mate, but this is getting some work done to it.
Yeah, how this came about, basically, we have a barn find, which we did with a video with you, didn't we? When we got it, we washed it. The guy saw that on your channel and then rang us and said, oh, I've got a Sierra 500 that's been sat in a barn for 20 odd years, would you recommission it for us? We said, yeah, no problem. Anyway, he said, oh, I live in Australia. I thought, that's a long way to send it. But he's originally from Scotland. He still has a property in Scotland and the car was parked there. So he said, we'll drag it out, we'll bring it down and just go through it, whatever it wants, you know, belt tension, the usual recommissioning, do the brakes and one thing and another. Can you do that for us? Yeah, no problem. So it turned up.
How did he describe it before? Did he say he's not sure or?
No, he didn't say a great lot, to be fair. He didn't say it needed a lot of welding or anything like that. Just basically, he knew it'd want a bit of work, but he didn't say a lot about it. So we were expecting
a mediocre.
Yeah, recommission really, maybe 2 or 3 weeks work and get it back on the road. And anyway, he turned up with it. It was as you can see, it was raining heavily when he brought it, but it was covered in dust, so it washed some of it off. And it turned up and we sort of lifted bonnet, looked round it and went, oh.
Needs a bit of work.
A little bit more than a bit of work.
Can we have a look, Paul? Because you're reshelling this car, aren't you? You've been on the lookout for new shell.
Yeah, we did put it on the ramp, and as I said to the guy who owned it, you can repair anything. If this was £1 million Aston Martin, we would strip it to a bare shell, put the shell on a rotisserie, and whatever the cost, we would repair it and weld it up. But you sort of can't do that with a car of this value, you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So we sort of give him an option. We said, well, you have a few options. You have options, either sell it as it is, because ideally a car like this normally is done by somebody who can do it themselves. But ones, you know, that can spend a couple of years doing it, weld it up on a weekend or whatever on a night and do it themselves. But I sort of said, well, you know, to do that would be ridiculous amounts of money. The hours of welding this car would need, the price of the panels, one thing and another.
Get the panels as well, isn't it? A lot of the panels.
Exactly. And so I said, so either that or we reshell it. He said, what would you do? And I said, well, to be quite honest, you know, there's the and we're going to get it on this video, aren't we? We're going to get it's not the same car, it's not legal, it's all the idiots who have no idea what they're talking about, have this stigma about reshell cars. They forget that a shell is just one of hundreds and hundreds of parts that make up a car. It's perfectly legal to reshell a car as long as you reshell it into a brand new manufactured shell. It's perfectly legal. And you transfer the ID from this car onto the brand new shell. I think where people get confused is you can't do it with a second-hand shell. So ideally that shell behind you, as such, you know, 1.6L shell, you could buy a 1.6L for 5 or 6 grand and reshell everything out of that into that shell, which you can do, but you have to maintain the ID of the shell. You cannot swap an ID from a car onto a second-hand shell. That's classed as ringing. But to put it onto a brand new body shell, it's perfectly legal. You know, you can restamp the number in the floor so it looks perfect. So I said to Andrew, I said, there are your options. We can either strip it down and weld it all up or reshell it. And he said, well, what would you do? I said, me personally, I'd reshell it.
My car's being reshelled. I would rather a reshelled solid shell than a welded up rotten one.
I mean, I'm a panel beater and painter by trade. Hey, it happens every time, doesn't it? Father Christmas again. I don't have an issue with reshell cars. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. As we said, I'd rather have a brand new shell, never been welded, all original panels. It's a Ford shell, manufactured exactly the same time this shell was made, with exactly the same robots, exactly the same processes. So why is it an issue? It's an issue to the uneducated, basically, shall we say?
Well,
and
it used to be a
been-
ringer, didn't it, years ago? People would ring cars into different shells.
Exactly, but that was, in, like we said earlier, into a second-hand shell. And I'm not knocking people that sort of criticise. I think it's just they don't understand. They're not in the motor trade. They don't understand a bit. So anyway, I gave him the option. I said, we can repair it, but you'd want sills, inner sills, floor pans, outer arches, inner wings, outer wings, and that's what we can see.
Can we put the bonnet and have a look at some of the areas?
Well, yeah, I mean, this will give you
an idea.
Yeah. And I mean, what people forget as well is you look underneath and you might go, well, it ain't that bad. No, it ain't. You know, we can repair the inner sills, we can do this, but all the seams are swelling. The dampness,
right, so where two bits of metal have been joined together.
Like where the floor pan meets the upright panel, your seams start to look like that because the rust has got in between and it starts to separate the panels. You can never get rid of that.
No.
You can blast it, you can dip it. You cannot get that rust out in between. So you spend thousands and thousands of pounds restoring it. 5 years later, all rust is coming back through. So, you know, to do it would mean massive amounts of cutting out and welding. And
you have got, you see there's some holes, these wings are welded on a Cosworth, and you have got the repair patches.
Well, yeah, they're here, look. We pulled these off, these were still attached when the car came.
Do you think this has been for an MOT test, or someone's just kind of tried to hide it?
They just tried to hide it, I think. So the pot riveted, you can see where the pot riveted.
It wasn't even welded?
No, the pot riveted them plates on, sealed over it, painted over it.
Just to hide it?
Yeah, just to hide. And they've done the same on the other side as well.
Mad. So that's also...
I want to put these on eBay.
Genuine
Rs500 inner wing repair panels. Probably fetch about 7 million quid, won't they?
So it's not just that area, there's a bit on the top of the strut here.
There's more than a bit, look.
Aye. And obviously that's a structural point of the car.
Yeah, and it sort of gives you an insight into how bad it is when you see this, you know. So to even do this, you know, yes, we could repair the inner wing, outer wings, inner wings, bonnet landing panel. It just goes on and on and on. And I say again, if we couldn't get a brand new shell, then we would have to repair it, and we would repair it. It wouldn't be a problem. But when a shell's available, and we found one, a brand new shell that's mint, because you see a lot of the brand new shells have been stored incorrectly, and you see rust in all the seams of them.
On a brand new shell?
On a brand new shell, so you wouldn't use them either, you know. So we've got a mint brand new shell, so that's what we're doing. And the owner's quite happy. He doesn't care what anybody thinks. He's not interested in anybody else's opinion. He doesn't want to sell the car. He's no intentions on selling it. He's had it for nearly 30 years. And he agrees. He said, once it's done, I class it as the same car. It is the same car.
It's the same car?
You know, it's just put into a brand new shell.
I would personally, I would rather have this reshelled if I had.
Yeah, I would.
Like the money and the...
Yeah, without a doubt. And let's be honest, how many people would know anyway?
Well,
there's
no
that
one
many.
really,
I'll tell you now, there's a lot of 3-door Cosses, 500s that were all reshelled years ago when they were worth a lot of money, when they were new, that were crashed, involved in accidents, reshelled. Nobody knows, because this is the other stigma that people say, oh, it'll be on register because it's been reshelled. No, they're not. They're only ever on the register as a reshell if it was claimed on by the insurance, i.e. written off. So some cars were written off by the insurance company. Somebody then bought them and reshelled it themselves, but the insurance had paid out on it, so it's got a marker against it as being a write-off. If you reshell a car because the value of the car exceeds the cost of the repair, it doesn't go on any register, and this is where people will not accept it. Oh, it'll show up as a reshell. No, it doesn't. You know, it never shows up on anything. So this car, nobody will know, other than the fact that we're going to do a video showing us doing it, and the owner's quite happy to do that, because, as I say, he said, I couldn't really care less what people think.
No, I wouldn't. So, as well, at the minute, you see it's minging. So we're going to pull it out and give it a clean up with Paul.
Yeah,
It is
we'll
going to, obviously, you're going to pull it a bit. So it's just easier to work on a clean car. And
well, I might as well make most of you being here and then get you to wash it rather than me wash it.
So it does still start and run the car, doesn't it?
I tell you what, the engine, it's unbelievable. Absolutely sweet as a nut.
I've got to ask, right, you're reshelling it.
Yeah.
How far are you going to go?
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, are you going to rebuild the engine?
Yeah, this is the other thing. We sort of said to Andrew, look, you can't take that out, can you, and put it back in a brand new painted shell?
No.
So we did say to him, this is the other dilemma you've got, Andrew. We can't take the back beam out and just put it back in. It'd be pointless. So he said, no, just not concourse. Like, well, there's a perfect one here, Adam. Look, this is one we've done for a car that's on the ramp. It's been blasted, refurbished, the diff's been blasted, everything's been powder coated, but it's not done to concourse. No. It's done
preservation. So just to get rid of the rust.
Exactly. So everything looks nicer, it'll last longer. So this is the standard that everything will be put onto that. So it'll look fantastic, but we're not doing it to, your dust cap should be pointing north, northeast.
You're not going to put the stickers on and the paint marks or anything?
No. He doesn't want that. He wants to use it. So I'll put jump pack on.
I will start it up. We'll pull it out there.
But yeah, we're going to rebuild the engine again because while it's out, it's a cheaper way of doing it, really.
He's sending it to SES?
No, we'll do this one because it's just a road car.
Are you going to rebuild the bottom end and that?
Do the whole lot, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
The car's had a phone in at some point, doesn't it, judging by the horse
on
the dashboard?
Yeah. BT maybe owned it.
BT. So you're going to change the dashboard maybe?
Yeah, we'll put another dash in it. The trim's quite nice, so the seats aren't bad.
No, it's easy fixed as well, mind, isn't it? Nice, I love the 3-door seats.
Yeah. Are we ready?
Go for it, mate. So we just squirt it straight on the paint.
Yeah, it's... we're not going to do it any harm, are we?
Tell you what, it is one nice, mind, doesn't it?
The engine's absolutely sweet as a nut. We couldn't believe it. Switch tap on, rev in. Yeah, I don't think we're going to go for the same effect of the last barn find, but...
How long's it been in storage, Paul, did you see it?
About 25 years, something like that.
So this is 20 odd years worth of dust?
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to wash it, all this expensive barn find dust
off. Barn find dust off.
Yeah. Right, mate.
Fire away.
Away you go.
So you've got a new shell for the car, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, we've got the shell. We're just right down on that south coast, so we're just waiting for organise that and go and get it picked up.
Is it coming with all the bonnet and boot
doors? Yeah.
No glass?
No, it's just a bare shell. So we'll send that straight to Paddock 10 Paint, get them to do it for us. They did the Texaco car, and we're happy with the work, so we'll get them to paint the shell for us. Then once the shell's back from paint, we'll then strip the car. Otherwise you end up with just bits everywhere. We'll strip the car, strip all the mechanical parts, get them blasted, powder coated, and then start the best bit, which is putting them back together.
Putting them back together. And the new shell, is it getting blasted or anything, or are you just going
No, it'll just get prepped and primed.
Prepped and painted?
Prepped, re-primed, then flattened and painted, yeah.
So a pretty common area for these as well, Paul, is your chassis legs, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's this one like?
It's gone on both chassis rails.
Both chassis legs?
Yeah. Basically, Adam, wherever they go,
it's gone. You reuse all the glass out of this car, Paul?
Yeah, we'll get the Orvik windscreens, they'll come and cut it all out for us, and then bond it straight back in the new shell.
Just like that, Paul, we've washed all that 25 years worth of dust off the car.
Funny thing is, they never look that bad, do they? You look at it there now and you think,
it looks alright, doesn't it?
Not a bad looking car, is it? Apart from, the only obvious is obviously that on the wings. Other than that, you wouldn't think you wouldn't think there was a lot wrong with it, would you? Like a bonny car. You put that in an auction and took bonnet catch off, you'd probably get 100 grand for it.
Should we pull it in, mate?
Yeah, we'll have it in.
Right, so the car's dried and the paintwork. I mean, I'll be honest, Paul, I think this paintwork will come up because we've done a barn find before and the paintwork came up beautifully.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's in there, isn't it? It's still to the workshop, and to be fair, that was considerably worse than this, and that looks like brand new. So this would
polish up.
Oh yeah, proper professional detail. I'm not talking just a wax polish, but a detail. It looks all right, doesn't it?
It does.
If you got away with that bit there.
That's the only evidence from the outside, isn't it?
You wouldn't think, would you, till you lift the bonnet? But you know, a paintless dent man on it, get Steve on it, and a detail, and it'd be looking quite amazing, wouldn't it? But
what's going to happen with this shell, the original shell?
We'll scrap this.
This will get scrapped.
It'll get scrapped, and I think you've got to do that because, again, because you are reshelling it, to not destroy the original shell is almost going against what we were trying to say earlier about doing it properly, doing it right. The last thing you would want is somebody patching this up to make a race car or anything out of it. I feel then that is wrong. You know, you've got to, if you're starting again, you're starting again. So this will be just scrapped.
Like you say, I think you've got, I mean, someone in theory could get this shell, build it into a road car.
Oh yeah,
and say, I've got the car.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the ID won't be with this car. The number will be taken out of the floor. So
will you cut that floor number out this shell, and will you put it on the new shell, or
no? We'll restamp the
new
brand new shell, so it looks like factory brand new. You'll never know it's been done.
So just cut this floor out and maybe put in the service history.
Exactly, put it with it because we'll document everything. So we'll put the original floor number,
the metal sheet, that actual bit of metal.
Put it on and keep it with the car.
Keep it with the car.
And then just get rid of this shell, really. And I think that's the right thing to do.
So don't ask Paul, like he says, the shell's getting destroyed.
Inundated with phone calls and messages. What are you doing with that old shell? I'll buy it. And please don't message me saying, I know you said you're going to scrap it, but no, it will 100%.
It has to, like you say, it has to.
It has to do the job properly, so.
Aye. I'm not thought we'll have to come back, Paul, and see it even part way through the process of getting a new shell. And
yeah, I think I did mention it earlier. The plan will be is get the brand new shell, get that painted, bring it back, get it on axle stands, and then we'll strip this one. So maybe I'll invite you back when this is completely stripped and the new shell's there painted, and then we can do one part where it built up and then one of it finished and road testing.
Be interesting to see the shell fully stripped and see just how bad it is.
It is, yeah. Well, you'll see it then, won't you? Because obviously we've had the benefit of being able to put it on a ramp and see it, which obviously we can't today because all the ramps are full. But I think it'll be even worse when we take all the kit off. You know, we'll see it. It's
put your fingers behind how to feel about. There might be a bit of rust there, man.
Says it all, doesn't it? Actually, in all fairness, it's sort of from here down.
Right.
Because it's been sat in a concrete garage and the condensation has come up through the floor. It's basically just sills, inner sills, floor pans, everything low down, all the seams have just blown.
Aye.
You know, and the inner sills at the back corners up here where they go, you could just get a screwdriver and poke them straight through. And
right, fellas, that's it. Thanks for watching, and massive thanks to Paul for having us down. Paul has his own YouTube channel if you want to follow along with a load of Cosworth projects, this one included. Like Paul says, we'll come back down, we'll see it again through the rebuild process. You got anything you want to say, mate?
No, I think you've covered it, mate. Yeah, we'll say we will do a more in-depth on this car as we go along. But by all means, come back and do updates.
Definitely.
Because you've got a lot more followers than we have, haven't you?
Right, that's it, fellas. Thanks for watching. And yet again, thanks to Paul for having us down. And I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.